I'm too strong on the Mind Voltage Institute. Thank you for selecting this video about sex. Before I continue, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, Mind Voltage Institute, do it right now. Activate the notification bell feature at the same time to be apprised of our new uploads. Immediately below your media player window, you see the thumb up icon. Go ahead, click on that right now too. Instantly and easily share the joy of this channel with others. Note also in the video description area below this video the donation by PayPal information. Please make a note of that. Sex. Alright, let me tell you a personal experience I had recently. This is a good way into this topic that I have here, where I'm going with it. It's a good way in, so I was talking to somebody, a male friend, in a Zoom meeting, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It so came up that, just so happened to come up that it was in line for me to say to my friend, I don't have sex with women. I just don't have sex. And the point here, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the reaction of my friend was more than I expected. It was, I think, maybe a momentary flash of not believing me. And then that probably transformed quickly into, I don't believe that about anybody. I don't believe that idea at all. And then a look of shock, kind of like, and then the next word out was, I think, something like, what? What? But, come on. Oh, jeez. Ah! Whoa! Okay. But what do you do? and then I said that some years ago, it took a lot of work, but I killed out my sex drive. I shut it down. It took a few years, and it took a lot of work, but I managed to do it. And that blew him away even more, man. And he said, well, what about, and I said, my wife went home. Yeah. So we lay in bed next to each other. It seemed like that hurt his brain. His reaction to that was, ah! Oh my God, I don't believe what I'm hearing. Okay. Excuse me. So that's my way into what I want to say. The point of that was the nature of the reaction from my friend. It seemed to be extreme to me, but I think it wasn't extreme. It's probably what anybody, many people who, if they heard me say that, if they didn't react like that physically, the gestures, the body language, they would probably be wanting to. And this makes the point here that the belief that people have to have sex, like, okay, let's talk guys. All right. This is a guy, I am a guy. So my point here, it translates to something like, in specific instances, it might be, I can't go with, I can't go for more than 3 months, man. I never have. No. One way or the other, I get late, you know, or um, I have to have a blowjob every day from my wife. I have to. I have to. What am I going to do? Jerk off? I mean, come on, man. I have to have at least that. But, you know, like every day, man. I'm active. She doesn't understand. Or, no, I think you get the point. The idea is that we just can't live without having sex. It can't be done. And there are ideas also founded in some fact that if you don't satisfy your libido and you just like squash it, you know, like internalize it, or just it can make you deviant. It's going to come out somehow. You have to have sex. That's the whole idea, right? And the support for that, if somebody would question about it, if it were you, if you want to get a little philosophical about it to explain why people it's just normal, it's natural for people to have sex. And, you know, there's just like a person can only go for so long without it. I mean, good God. Drive me crazy, right? Okay. There's the idea that it's perfectly natural. I mean, what we're talking about. You know, it's perfectly natural. I mean, after all, it doesn't get much more natural than, hey, that's how the species gets propagated. In fact, it's the wild thing, you know. It's the common denominator in humanity. Excuse me. At that moment of orgasm with a partner, we're all equals. Yeah, you just can't go without it. It's perfectly natural. Now, have you ever noticed that it gets people into a lot of difficulties with one another? Well, perfectly natural. Wait, I'm going to continue on. What are the 3 basic necessities? What is it? Maslow's basic needs? Maslow, I believe. Food, shelter, and clothing. And what is the basic instinct of the race? The most fundamental thing that makes it go is to keep the race going. Propagation of the species. Much of our lives is centered around that, really. The shelter fits right in, right? Clothing, food, family, kids, offspring, right? It's all perfectly natural. Sure. Then why in the heck does it lead to so much trouble? Have you ever noticed, man or woman, that if you have more than a one-night stand with somebody, same person, you're kind of getting into a relationship, and you might have known each other for some while. No sex. But when the sex starts, it's a different thing. It's a relationship. And unless you're very good at the friends with benefits thing, no feelings involved at all, none, then there comes the stuff that comes with a relationship. You know? There comes, like, who wants what, what's expected of each other. Some of the things that first attracted you to each other now have to change. Sex can become a problem. How about sexual compatibility or incompatibility? Desires that one person has that the other person just ain't gonna do. How about being in a sexual relationship and then lack of sex, or withholding the sex from the other person, or just phasing out? All the difficulties that can come from this. And it takes up a lot of human energy, man. It really does. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of everything. It really does. And if you get relationship problems, it can just make your life miserable. That starts when the sex begins. So why would that happen so much? If sex, like, you know, can't go more than 3 months, my God, that's the longest I've ever gone. You know, I'm 40-some years old, man. I started having sex when I was 13. And my God, I haven't gone for more than 3 months. That's the longest I ever went without. It was good. I never want to go through that again. My God. Okay. Right. It was so natural to have a sex, to think of one's sex life and one's needs in this world, needs in this body, needs in life, sex. If it were just all that natural, then why so much difficulty? Why so much difficulty? Because it's not natural to have a sex life like that. That's why. It's not natural. It's not. The natural part about it is propagation of the species. Yeah. You said a little bit ago here, didn't I? What could be more natural than that? But that didn't include sex recreationally. That didn't include screwing whoever you can find if you're reaching your 3-month mark. Didn't include any of that. That's not natural. Now the ability, again, back to men now. The idea that one has to have sex is phony. It is phony. So, answer me this, guys. Does sex really work? Does it really do what it's supposed to do? You may say to me, so if you're not having sex, man, if I were to go more than 3 months, I'd be tortured, man. My hormones, my balls would be fucking huge. I'd be just like torture. I wouldn't be able to get my mind off sex. Oh my God, you know. And if it went on like that for years, I'd probably die early. I mean, quality of life, you know. But the fact is, I guarantee you that if you were to go 10 years, no sex, you'd be okay. You'd still be alive. There's a big problem with the whole belief thing. If you were to change your belief a bit, and instead of just walking around horny and just internalizing it, becoming a rapist, becoming some kind of deviant, you know, starting to eat other people's shit while they pee on you, you know, start having sex with beasts because you're trying not to get laid, but now, oh my God, I feel like a priest with a choir, an altar boy. Oh my God. No, that's that all comes from the belief. Really, this wrong belief. You believe otherwise, now you may start doing things like, well, thinking things like, I can't stand it, man. Honest to God, the biggest problem I've ever had from sex in my life, the whole idea, the whole thing is the way my balls bother me all the time. All the time. I asked you a second ago, does sex really work for you? It never did for me. I was horny going all over the place if I wasn't having sex. If I wasn't having sex right now, I was horny as fuck. I mean, when I was younger, I could have just had sex with one woman after another for like 5 years. Every day. And I still would be like not satisfied. Just libido was my libido was out of this world. It really annoyed me. It was torture, man. It was unbearable. So if I had sex, that's supposed to fix it, right? That's the belief. Well, it didn't fix anything. As soon as I had my mandatory 15-minute nap, I was right back the way I was. I didn't do shit. In fact, it probably got me more hormoned up for the next 2 weeks. So, really, see, when you go against Mother Nature like that, on some belief that you're in tune with nature, by just going apeshit, because you can't control yourself over hormones. They are there for a reason. Yes, if they weren't there, that present and that strong, well, probably people wouldn't have sex and propagate the species so much. But you may then get the idea, you know, once you get the whole belief change and understand that it's not going to kill you and it's not going to hurt you if you don't get laid every 3 months at the max or 3 years, really. And guys, you may find that you actually get along better with women if the idea of getting a piece of that ass in any way, shape, or form, or, you know, you're just, brushing up on your ability to flirt. You know, if you just don't do that shit, you probably get along better with women in general. Alright, so anyway, you can kill out your libido. If it bothers you, and sex is starting to hurt your back, anyway, you change your beliefs about it first. And then you can set out so you gain some damn control over yourself. Not just over whether you screw people, but over whether you keep thinking about it. And over whether you believe you just can't live without it. And whether you always turn and look at a woman's ass when she passes by. Or whether you sit around and daydream about sex. You know, you can get rid of all of that. You can. And you can desire and will and work toward the whole urge for all of that. That whole annoying, fucking overbearing feeling that keeps you, that really supports, biologically, you know, supports the idea that you've got to have sex, man. You can get that. You can make that go away. And I'll tell you what, it feels a lot more peaceful. It just takes time. You just keep in your mind changing the subject all the time. Just change the subject. You know, like, oh, there's a cute piece. Look at them. Oh, look at those beautiful legs over there. No. Back to what I was doing. No. I don't want anything like that. No. I've seen legs before. Okay. How many times am I going to do that shit? I don't need that. This is going to get hormones going and shit. I don't want that. I don't need that. And you'll live just as long as if you had a fulfilling sex life full of trichomona and gonorrhea infections. No, really, it's not. When you want to talk about being a man, it's not in how many women you can fuck. No. It's not in how many women you can get to want to fuck you. It's not that. No. People refer to, well, getting some control over yourself. I mean, you just can't go into the grocery store and every chick's ass you want to touch, you just do it. No, you can't do that. No, it's not that kind of a thing. You can just kill it out. If it's annoying to you because that's the way you really want to be, but you just can't do it in society, it's screwing with your head, man. It's screwing with your head. You can be a man and gain some self-control. People say get some self-control. You know, you can't do that in the grocery store. Men have to control themselves. But they act out of fucking control anyway with all this weird belief about have to have sex, can't imagine going without it. And it's perfectly natural, and, spread your seed. Come on, man. Come on. You know what? That's annoying. And it takes up a lot of time and a lot of money, a lot of effort, and it gets in the way of a lot of stuff. Seriously. And it doesn't help you along anyway. Really. You're just right back to wanting to get laid again. Same shit over and over. I mean, isn't there a point at which you can say, all right, I did that. I know what that's like. Besides, it's starting to hurt my back. But you can shut that hormonal that hormonal action down. You can get it to quiet the hell down. Just, first of all, don't give it any attention in your mind, in your thoughts, in your field of vision. Start with that. Then there are other things you can do to just, like tell your libido to quiet the hell down, man. Just leave you alone. It's over. It's okay. Now, this doesn't mean you can't have sex later on in life if you want to. You can do that. But there's, walking around with any urge. You don't need it. You might have a wife, like I do. Lay in bed together. Touch. Caress. And who knows? Now and then, what can come of it, but rarely, very rarely. It's wonderful to just be there. Just be there. And not have sex get in the way of the peace together. So there. You don't like what I said. But if you reach a point in which you're just a little bit tired of the whole game, you might remember what I said, and it may come in very handy. And you'll be thankful that I said it. I'm Jerry Strongman. Like this video, like it or not. Give it a thumb up. Share the joy of the channel with others. Subscribe. Get notified. Make note of the donation by PayPal information in the video description area, just below your media player window. Thank you for tuning in to this video about sex. I'm Turk Strongman, current president at the Mindfulness Institute. Be well.